Welcome back, Halo followers. Today we got some exciting Halo Infinite multiplayer news regarding transparency and monthly updates, as well as flighty news, how to play the game before release, and recap on Halo Infinite concept art. Bonnie Ross finally breaks her silence and also talks about the TV show. So we have a lot to discuss and break down in this news video. But first, guys, be sure to smash that like button below and subscribe. Join me on the journey of following Halo for over 9 years, going on to 10. So I will talk about mainly the new things in this news. They say if you add the news of Halo Infinite's delay on top of it all, this was a tough year overall for the Halo Esports community and particularly for our competitors. So they say we're all looking forward to another Halo game to learn and master this year, but more importantly, many of you were planning your lives around the release of this game. Whether you were forming your roster, taking to team organizations about sponsorship, taking time off work and school, and more, we don't take the pain of this delay has caused lightly. Thank you for dedicating yourselves to this game and esport. Now, what this is sort of alluding to is the fact that 343 didn't really tell the esports community, allegedly anyway, that they were delaying the game. And the problem with that is that, with esports, there's contracts, there's a lot of planning, there's a lot of time that basically was wasted and perhaps screwed up some people's plans in the esports community, which is, in a way, kind of a big blunder on 343's part to, the fact that this game was delayed was unfortunate, but to not tell people about it until, there's really only a 2-week window, but they should have let people know as soon as possible. But they say we've been feeling gutted with all that's happened. Earlier this year, we placed holds on venues where we wanted to have the very first Halo Infinite event, where we were going to hold the Halo World Championship and more in between. With hitting, we were focused to shift our plans and move most of the upcoming season to online, and even then there was uncertainty around if maybe the entire season would have to be played online. And as time went on, we then had to change our plans once again due to the game's delay, and we're of course still in the middle of doing that. Why Halo Infinite development continued, we kicked off the MCC and Halo 5 Pro Series tournaments for amateur and pro players alike. So again, they have big plans regarding esports once again. A big part of Halo 5 was getting Halo back into the the esports ring, because it kind of fell off after Halo Reach. And here we are again. Halo 5 I think reached a peak of like 200-something thousand live viewers at one point on Twitch, which was a pretty big deal, So whatever they're doing with Halo Infinite's multiplayer gameplay wise certainly has to be similar to Halo 5, just because of how successful the game was. And they say we still plan to relaunch the HCS with the release of Halo Infinite on a global scale, with a full 12-month roadmap laid out ahead of the game's release, which will accumulate in the Halo World Championship with a minimum prize pool of $1 million for that event alone. If you remember in 2018, during the final year of Halo 5, we made massive changes to the program, and with a much stronger focus on format and quality, and that's the place we're picking up and evolving from, but obviously taking a lot of our learnings over the last couple of years forward. So basically, to quickly recap what we've just read so far, is that 343 has big plans. They're sorry about the confusion. They're sorry about essentially the game being delayed, but there are some really cool things in the works, and they go on to explain a little bit more in detail. And this section, they say these are things that you can look forward to 2021. And this isn't just regarding Halo Infinite Esports, but also just the game itself. But they say teams. In our 5-year anniversary update in 2019, we touched briefly on how we're thinking about our relationship with team organizations. In the early days of HCS, we didn't have a close relationship with all the teams. For the last couple of years, however, we've been prioritizing our relationship with teams a great deal. We've been proactively reaching out to them, setting up phone calls, and met in person as well. And this all makes me think about how there is actually a pro team, pro players helping Halo Infinite's multiplayer be developed, which I don't think was quite the case throughout the entire development of Halo 5. But this is when it gets really fun here. Just a second here. They say flighting. In case you missed it, last week we confirmed that insider flighting for Halo Infinite will indeed be coming in 2021. In other words, that means a beta, all right? Public beta where me and you can play Halo Infinite early. Hopefully, the insider program will be taking advantage of Halo Infinite testing. And they say this means that Halo insiders will finally be able to get their hands on with Halo Infinite's multiplayer ahead of release, including a taste of what competitors can expect. Of course, it will still be a work in progress at that, but we absolutely cannot wait for you to play. So again, they just doubled down on it. They just confirmed once again, and kind of before it was extremely implied, but they just confirmed there that yes, we are going to be able to play this game early. And the way that MCC works, by the way, with flights is that they take a small section of players randomly, maybe based on specs on your PC, and they send out basically people that can play the game early. So they did that with Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3, going on to PC, but also the Xbox releases as well. So that was a huge component as to why MCC has been so successful, has launched with so little issues or minor bugs, whereas before, back in 2014, it was a disaster. So I think that this flighting is going to save Halo Infinite on a number of levels, but also, I mean, how cool is it? We're going to be able to play this game early, right? We're all going to be playing it early, probably, right? Because it's going to start with a small range of players randomly, and then it's probably going to get bigger like the flights with MCC, and then hopefully at some point, for at least a few days, it will be available to everyone, regardless if you've signed up for the Halo Insider program, which if you do want to sign up for that, I have left a link down in the description. So they also say another thing you can look forward to in 2021 is events. With the delay of the game until fall 2021, more specifically, what Bonnie Ross has teased is November 15th. Our ambition is that we will be able to host the entire season with live open events as originally envisioned. Of course, this is just an ambition at the moment, and we still need to see how events in the coming months unfold with regards to, the health and safety of players. The staff is still a number one priority, and this will always be number one priority. We will, of course, follow the guidance and consult with the global Microsoft security and events team in the whole process as well, but we've really missed you all, seriously. So what that means is that assuming things get better in the world, then they are going to be doing the live events, talking about on Twitch, on YouTube, going to have the players sitting all in the same room, IRL, and that's great. That's how this is supposed to be played out. Of course, being safe about it. Hopefully everything that needs to happen will happen by then, but there is a lot of time between now and 11 months ahead of us, when the game actually does drop next year in November. I think things will be ironed out by then, with what I'm talking about here. I'm not going to say the words, but yeah, this is this is exciting. They also say monthly updates, all right? Transparency, transparency, transparency. You want it, we need to deliver it. With, impact in the delay to the game, we had to make a shift in our plans multiple times. Starting in January, we're going to be kicking off new monthly blog series called Designing the Halo Esports Ecosystem. Each month, we will dive into particular piece of what our vision for Halo Esports is over the course of the year and leading up to the release of the game. Our goal is to paint a clear picture so you know what we're doing and why we're doing it. This is absolutely fantastic news. 343 has, to put it bluntly, sucked with transparency throughout the year and has gotten better with Joseph Staten's update last week, showing off multiplayer news and stuff and ending the content drought momentarily. But they basically confirmed that they will be talking about Halo Infinite multiplayer every month for the rest of next year, or at least starting in January. We don't know how long it's going to go on, but it seems that they are going to be sharing news about esports and the ecosystem that esports belongs in, and how it will function moving forward and what they're doing. And so all of this is really Halo Infinite news is confirmed to be coming monthly. And I hope that they expand this into talking about the mechanics of the Slip Space engine and talking about little minute things in the game, the campaign, and teasing things as we go forward. But I believe that the hype train is continuing. They said that there was a high-level update coming after the holidays. Maybe that's what we got with the multiplayer news, but certainly By the way, the update I'm covering right now was the December 17th recap or overview of the year. But basically, Sketch said that was kind of canceled because essentially they covered it in the Joseph Staten update with the multiplayer news. Yeah, they are wrapping up Halo Infinite. They, want to say that, like, don't worry, we're getting things figured out. We're going to be sharing with more as they go, as the game is being developed, and in the keeping us all in the loop with the upcoming blog series, all right? And they say, as you may have seen on IG last month, after the Herculean effort of Showtime's part, we were able to go back to Budapest a few months ago and resume production on the Halo television series. Remember, that thing was it was announced back in 2013. But yeah, they've been on hiatus for a while, and now they are back working with Pablo playing as Master Chief, and that mocap actor that did some mocap for Master Chief, which I found interesting, and also said that the game should be ready by spring. Maybe he was right about that as far as like the game being playable, the flights rolling out in spring. I could totally see the beta and the flights coming out in April, May, somewhere in that time zone. But anyway, this is exciting stuff. Bonnie Ross, the head of 343, finally speaks out and discusses the future of Halo into 2021. All right, she says this. This has been an unprecedented and turbulent year for all of us, but as I reflect on what our studio has accomplished, it has been a source of pride and hope. While we are grateful that we can do our work from home, it has changed the way we work together as a team and how we create games, the good, the bad, the learning, and the new. I think the thing that resonated most with me last year were the people in our studio and how much they care about Halo, but more importantly about each other and the well-being of everyone on the team. I really appreciate how everyone in the studio came together and leaned into finding solutions to allow us to do our best work from home. This year will continue to shape who we are as a studio and how we work together and create moving forward. During this time, we launched 5 games as part of the Halo the Master Chief Collection on PC, leading the largest addition of new players to the franchise since Halo 3. In addition, the team has put a ton of work into release-optimized console versions for Xbox Series X and S, along with numerous community-requested features for all platforms, and there's more MCC content coming next year. That's an interesting comment, by the way, about the series returning to the golden days, back in Halo 3 when the population was rather large. And it's always been kind of suspicious that 343 never released the statistics on Halo 4 and 5 as far as player count. I think there's been ways to find that out, or maybe they have released at some point, but it was always not at the peak of things, or the potential peak of things. So they've probably potentially been embarrassed about the numbers, and they've probably been low for a while. But the fact is, MCC has revived Halo, and it's interesting that she confirmed that. And they said, we revived released a host of fun new products, and it's been great to see fans share their excitement on social, posting pics of their Mega Constructs builds, Funko Pop figures, and Nerf assault rifles. In response to our latest novel, Halo Shadows of Reach was beyond expectations, leading it to be one of the best-selling releases ever. I'm also excited to see the great progress on the Showtime Halo series, as production is back up and running. Everyone involved in the series is treating Halo with so much care to deliver something that fans will truly be thrilled with. And 2021 will be a big year for the Halo franchise. Not very surprising, but it's nice that she confirmed that. As we recently announced, Halo Infinite will release in fall 2021. I realize the wait has been difficult, and I assure you that the team wants the game in your hands as soon as possible, but they also want to deliver something special. The Halo game you deserve. Thank you for your patience, your understanding, and most importantly, your words in support of the team. I cannot express how grateful I am for the Halo community, and the encouragement you've expressed to us has lifted us up and provided us the fuel to keep going. As you saw from the recent blog post, the team is making tremendous progress and is so eager to show you more. So after reading all this, I am pretty hyped about multiplayer. I'm feeling pretty good about news coming out pretty frequently next year, especially soon. I'm talking like January, February, March, with multiplayer in things of this nature, like esports and monthly updates, as they confirmed here, as well as the events returning, assuming the world gets back to where it needs to be, right? But I wish Bonnie Ross kind of touched upon some of the negativity. 343 has received some of the worst criticism I've seen in my time of doing Halo news, as well as just being Halo fans since 343 has taken over. I would say that this news has been such a backlash. It's probably been the fourth or fifth biggest backlash, and the fact that they're just kind of shrugging it off and not really considering it to be something worth talking about. The head of Xbox, like, hey, we know you're concerned about microtransactions. That's something that we put a lot of thought into, and we're really working on to make sure we get right. I find it a little bit fake that this wasn't talked about at all in Bonnie Ross quote or press release, whatever you want to call it here. So I don't know. I would like for them to be more transparent about that. It seems like they really have not addressed the armor coatings in the way that we need them to. Even in the Joseph Staten update, they really did not talk about that, and it's making me more and more paranoid that what they have to say about it is not going to make us very happy. But other than that, all of this is looking pretty great, and I'm excited for the future of Halo. But anyways, guys, be sure to smash that like button blue, and subscribe. Join me on the journey if you haven't already. And hit the notification bell so you're updated always on new HaloFollower videos, news, and lore. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next one soon. Peace.